I'm not a big fan of Apple company, but I do like their products big time. Hello, I'm Dr. Sam, this is Dr. Sam's Health, and today we are going to continue talking about things that have nothing to do with health and fitness. As you noticed, I've made quite a few videos about some just cool stuff, unboxing things, including this chair, by the way. It's Cyberpunk 2077 chair from Secret Lab. The model is called Titan, and it's based on a very cool video game that is going to be released just in a week on December 10th, and I hope it will be as breathtaking as Keanu Reeves is and as he promised. But today we're going to talk about this device, which is an iPhone 12 Pro Max, which I just received. And quite frankly, I had a couple of very busy nights and I didn't have time to unbox it. And I really wanted to make a video about that because I don't buy iPhones every day. Actually, my previous machine, I had it a couple of years ago. So it's time for an upgrade. And before we begin, I will say several words about these devices and why I decided to upgrade. And the only disclaimer that I will make is that I kind of don't like Apple. I like their products. I have had quite a few iPhones. I started with iPhone 4S. I came to Canada with a very nice Nokia, which was like one of this, I guess, clamshell devices. It was pretty cool. It has a mirror. It was very fancy. And then it was time to switch to something else, and I had to choose. And I decided to try out an iPhone. And the model that was released then, it was released on my birthday, and it was the model which was called 4S, which you can read as for Dr. Sam. Yeah, I'm a little bit a geek or a nerd about this kind of things. So since then I've been using iPhones and I had three or four models. I do like them, but I could never understand, the magic part of anything. So yes, they're high quality devices. They have very good response rate. They have amazing, amazing screens, which are made at Samsung, by the way, or by Samsung for Apple. Uh, but again, I was never like really, really fascinated with them. I actually tried a couple of few other devices from them. I tried the MacBook Air, and it was an amazing laptop, like super cool, super thin, super light. I really like that, you can open it with one finger, which is not the biggest perk, but it was important for me. And I remember that, you just open it and it starts, and it was ready to use. The only problem with that was that I'm working with PC machines everywhere. I've got a huge PC here, like a huge desktop, very powerful, that I can use for anything, video editing, statistical procedures. I've got lots of PCs that I work on with my medical documentation, medical software in different offices. So having a MacBook was not a good idea. And actually, the reason why I'm talking about all these things is just because I've been in a search for a really cool device that would allow me to try different things and would allow me some sort of a versatility in terms of what I can do with these things. So you have seen my videos about my laptops, the Dragonfly and HP Spectre 360 15 inches. These are the devices that have like this flip mode when you can flip them over and use them as a huge tablet. And unfortunately, these laptops were not good enough for this purpose just because they were too heavy and too bulky, too big. I actually tried a couple of other devices, such as an iPad, and I bought a couple of them. And the iPad Pro, the very first one that I bought, it was dysfunctional. It had some sort of an issue. I had to replace it a couple of times, and at the end of the day, I decided to get rid of it. And then I bought an iPad Pro just like several months ago, just to try using it for my purposes, which is like reading articles, newspapers, sorry, like scientific magazines, watching some educational videos, which I have a huge collection of. And the reason why I got an iPad was because it's like a huge iPhone, right? So it has an iOS, or maybe iPad OS. Anyhow, pretty much all the apps that I have in my iPhone, like DSM-5, like Pharmacopoeia, like all this information about the medications that I need, about the diagnosis, access to quite a few databases on diseases, symptoms, treatment, and so on. Plus, obviously, YouTube, which I make my videos for, other things like Facebook and so on. I would love to have them in a bigger format. And I was thinking about, either getting a Microsoft Surface or an iPad. And I gave it a try to both of these devices. So first I tried an iPad. It was amazing. It was big, relatively light, but I must say that it was too heavy and or too bulky to use. And I played with it for just a couple of hours and realized that it will be just another device that I'm going to carry around, and it will be problematic. Then I tried Microsoft Surface, and I think I've got the Surface Go 2. It's just like a small tablet. It was actually very neat and cute. I couldn't get access to quite a few things on this device that I technically carry in my pocket with my iPhone, so I returned that too. And plus it wasn't like powerful enough. But at the end of the day, I decided that, maybe the best solution for me would be to have a nice laptop eventually. And again, I'm still waiting for HP Spectre 360 14, which has already been released in the United States, but we still don't have it in Canada. And I realized that maybe the best solution for me would be to get a huge iPhone. And I've been waiting for iPhone 12 because it came with this Pro Max version, which is relatively large. And I'll show you my current device. So I have this nice book cover that makes it look like it's a little Bible or a book. It's very neat. But at the end of the day, I've got this device here. Here it is. And it's a little bit small. And in the very beginning, I said that I don't like Apple for all this magic stuff. They tend to misrepresent certain things. Like, I remember that I had an iPhone 6S Max or something like this, like a big one. And they said that the new iPhone XR, I think that's it, has the biggest screen ever and so on. And yeah, if you measure it diagonally, the diagonal is bigger, but they have different aspect ratios. So this phone is actually very narrow, and I've got less screen space, screen real estate, than I would have in my previous device. But it doesn't really matter. I've got this device to retire and give to somebody else, and I've got this new iPhone 12 Pro Max that I can use for my purposes, and hopefully it will satisfy all my needs, and I'll be able to check all the checklist points that need to be addressed. So let's open this thing up. And the nice thing about Apple products obviously is that they wrap up everything nicely. And by the way, just one thing before I open it, I would like to say that when I've got this device, I've got it because my previous iPhone was glitching. And I remember that it happened just before, these glitches happened just before the release of the new iPhone. And it was pretty much, I almost had a gut feeling that something fishy is happening and that Apple is trying to make me retire the old iPhone and get a new one. And it was confirmed because that's what was done, at least to my knowledge, that Apple fixed the software in some way that if your phone had an old battery, it would slow it down. And that was quite interesting to actually discover this kind of conspiracy theory. Anyhow, with this phone, the already pre-existing issue is that it doesn't come with a block for the charger, just because they wanted to save some space. I honestly find it hard to believe. It is unbelievable, actually. You just want to make more money off your customers so that they can buy these blocks for 10, 20, 30 bucks as a genuine thing that should come with this iPhone. Sorry, I was interrupted by a page. Now I'm back to the studio and we're going to open this box. So the box is obviously nice. Here is the phone itself. I've got it in a blue color. It's dark blue. From distance it might look like one of the space gray phones, which is my usual color of choice, but this one is blue, and I kind of like it. It has very nice, profound, rich color. Obviously, the device itself is amazing. It feels nice and heavy. I cannot say that it's an unwieldy device. It's actually quite manageable, but actually I feel that later on, when I'll be using it on a constant basis, it will be a bit of a deterrent for me to use it too much, because it feels like I'll get tired eventually, like rather sooner than later. Likely it will be a little bit difficult to type with just one thumb. You can see it. I'll show you that typing will not be as easy or comfortable as on the previous phone, just because it's just slightly larger. Likely I'll have to use two thumbs. Actually, somebody told me that typing on your iPhone with one thumb is a sign of an old school and old man. Apparently, all the new age kids are using two thumbs. Anyhow, I'm gonna start it, and I'm gonna set it up, and we'll see how it works. Likely it will take me some time to transfer all the data. I've got gigabytes upon gigabytes of data in my previous phone, but let's give it some time, and I'll be back in a second with the second part of this video. Well, we are starting with hello, or hola in my case for some reason. I guess it rotates languages, so my language is English, Canada, quick start. Yes, I will go with quick start, obviously, because you can transfer all the data from the previous device. The only thing that on my previous phone, I had this issue with, I had a very odd problem. My email check somehow doesn't work out really well. It freezes. It takes a very long time to actually refresh my email. So what I will do, I will do the transfer, but prior to transferring all the information and all the setup from this phone to this phone, I will disable my Yahoo Mail account so that the transfer doesn't transfer, maybe some sort of a mishap happening with my mail account. By the way, ironically, even deleting mail account takes forever. It's been already over a couple of minutes. I'll give it a little bit more time. I hope it will end eventually, and then I will transfer the data, and I'll be back with you in a second. And just a quick update, it's been over 10 minutes while this device was trying to delete the mail account, so I'm happy that we've done it, but I had to literally force close the settings app, and now I don't have this account, so we're ready to transfer the data, and I guess I'll be back with you in a very short bit. While we're waiting for the data transfer, let's talk about a couple more things. First of all, we have some time to talk about the rest of the box, and we can talk about a couple of annoying things about Apple. While setting up this phone, it had already asked me for some personal information, disclosing my speech patterns, disclosing a couple of other things, my location, and so on, which is, I guess it makes sense to ask for these things, but I think they already have too much information about me in their system, and I don't appreciate it. Also, it always, constantly bugs me with all these reminders of what I can buy. In the process of installation, it already asked me for Apple Pay, setting up Apple Pay account. I don't want to set it up. I don't trust your company with my money, and I don't want you to constantly remind me that I can buy something else from you. I've already spent $2,000 Canadian on this phone, and it's an amazing phone. I hope it will meet my expectations, and please stop bugging me. I don't want anything else from you. If I want something, I will let you know. Anyhow, what I would like to have with this one is a power adapter, this little block that apparently was too big to ship with the other phone, because they care so much about the ecology that they couldn't send this little device. They couldn't make the box a little bit bigger and fit it there. But let's take a look at the box. First of all, we got this little pouch with, actually I've already taken out stuff. with all these useless documents here and a sticker. We don't need this, but we do need a sticker because that is the thing that most of the people would throw out. A little warranty here or like whatever. I never read these documents. The pouch that could have been made smaller, the power cord, bare minimum of necessities, again, no power adapter, and we've got all this filler. So quite frankly, I don't understand. Why couldn't you have made this box just several millimeters larger so that it could fit this adapter? You could have made a smaller adapter. I'm pretty sure it's technically possible, right? So all this removal of things so you can buy them from them later, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. And if I order one for like, I don't know, 20, 30 bucks on the internet from Apple Store to get the genuine part, likely you will anyhow ship it to me for free, and I'm pretty sure that shipping it together with the phone would be much cheaper and much better for environment than shipping it separately. But who am I to judge, right? Just an Apple product user. So anyhow, just give me 7 more minutes until the data are transferred, and I'll be back with you and I'll take a look at the major apps that I'm using. Okay, the data have been transferred. I have set up all my accounts. Now we are good. Everything is ready to be used, and let's try out some apps that I am using regularly. By the way, oh no, the mail has been downloading, and actually all the emails that I had have downloaded very quickly as soon as I opened the app, so no concerns here. The screen is actually very nice and large, obviously quite neat. I see there are quite a few apps. They keep being, I guess, updated, downloaded. Let me take a look at some of the educational apps. So likely it will take a while for me to actually have them here because one of them is Lecturio and EDX. These are two apps that I use a lot. They have wonderful videos. Actually, another app is one for preparation for NC National Strength and Conditioning Association, NSCA CSCS. They have lots of questions there. So I guess I'll give it some time. Audible is already there, which is nice. We also can try YouTube right now, and obviously we can check out Dr. Sam's health, because otherwise what would I check? And as always, we got Dr. Sam Robbins for some reason, which is not me, by the way. Okay, the video about mask effectiveness. It's not only fantastically flawed, but it's also absolutely unbelievably misinterpreted. I actually must say that I like the sound, I like the size of the screen. It is much better than what I had previously. So compared to my previous phone, this one is clearly much bigger, right? So I'm already enjoying it big time, and now we've got Siri activated. But let's do the following. I'll play with this phone, I will install all the apps, I will try them out, and I'll make a second video which will be my second opinion. Also, I've got a very odd problem with my car. I've got a very fancy 2020 Mercedes, and it has this command system that interacts with your phone and allows you to obviously make phone calls in the car. But my previous car, it was E550, it did it perfectly, but with the transition to the new vehicle, which is E53, they have a very serious overhaul update of the electronics there, and this new system somehow doesn't give me a very good quality of my calls, and that is quite annoying. And I've been told to speak louder, which quite frankly doesn't make any sense for the car that costs that much. So they told me the last version was of the problem was that, you know, my previous iPhone that was manufactured 2 years ago is not really compatible with this brand new Mercedes-Benz system. I will check it out. And while I'm talking, I'm looking at the screen, and it is funny. The notch is a little slightly smaller than it used to be, but likely just because of the overall size of the screen. I realized there is something I really, really don't like. You know, everybody went with bezel-less phones, right? Samsung, iPhones, just one generation or two generations before they were going with the bezel-less screens. Look at this screen and look at effectively these are bezels, right? This frame, dark frame, which is 3, maybe even 4 millimeters wide. I don't know, I didn't expect it. I think, honestly, aesthetically it sucks. But whatever. But I'm pleased with the fact that again, I'm just iPhone, I'm pleased with the screen size, Apple products, the data transfer. So, I will give it another try. Effectively, I'm happy with the fact that emails seem to be working seamlessly and very fast. But whatever, unlike system on the previous iPhone. But whatever, I tried lots of things. Pleased with the fact that I've got new. So I will play with this device for the next couple of weeks. I'll see what will happen, how compatible it is with my needs, whether it's big enough to enjoy the high quality educational videos, to read books, and whether it's kind of small and portable enough to, I don't know, fit my pocket, not to be a burden in terms of like carrying it around. I will also see if it is compatible with other devices in my home, in my car. And just in case you have some specific questions about this device, go ahead, ask them in the question section or comment section underneath this video so that I can answer them in my second opinion video. And as always, thank you so much for watching my channel, for being subscribers. By the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do and hit the notification bell. If you like my videos, hit the like button, ask questions, leave comments. You're always welcome to interact with me. And of course, go ahead and check out my website, drsamshealth.com. I've got my blogs there, I've got some calculators there, some tools that you can use to improve your health or to work on your weight loss, fitness goals, and so on. It's constantly been renewed, updated. I add new things. You can communicate with me using my website too. So there are plenty of opportunities. And once again, thank you so much for watching. All the very best. And just a little postscriptum. I realized that my video was mostly about my attitude towards Apple and the history of using them, more talking than showing actual unboxing. I must say that there is not much to unbox because it's just a box and a phone inside, but I had some time to play with this phone in the past half an hour or so, and most of the apps, if not all of them, have completely installed and I could try them out. Wikipedia is nice, reading text is just very good on this larger device. The same applies to Amazon Kindle and Amazon Prime and Netflix. All these videos, they look really, really good on large screen. I checked out a couple of educational platforms like EDX and Lecturio and so on. I also played with the camera. Camera is actually really good. I have taken quite a few pictures and they are crisp. The camera captures the light really well, and I must say that even like taking pictures from relatively far away, I've taken pictures from like 2-3 meters away from my screen and I could see like literally pixels, which is amazing. So far I'm very happy with this phone, and I didn't want you to be disappointed with the lack of actual practical impressions from the unboxing of this phone. So I will still make the second opinion video maybe in a month or two when I have lots of experiences with this phone and I can actually testify towards it being a great phone or not, what is good, what is bad. But that's all I wanted to say today. I have unboxed it. I'm a happy user of a new iPhone, and I will use it tomorrow on my on-call shift. And once again, all the very best. Thank you for watching.